And usually I'm just driving.
They're probably not listening to it.
Yeah.
I'm usually getting ready for the day when I watch your podcast.
Yeah. So today we have obviously some really cool guests. Tara's been on the show. Tara's from Real Producers Magazine. We'll talk about the publication and what that's all about. You guys have an event coming up next week, which we will actually be doing our show live from the show, which we've never done, and I'm really interested to see how that works out.
We've done live shows before.
Yeah.
This one's live.
I know, but it's not at an event. Like you're never.
Oh, I see. Like we're going to be outside, aren't we?
I don't know. I don't really know what's going on.
Lots of details.
Yeah.
So.
We'll fill you in.
It's in the works.
Deb will tell you.
Yeah, Deb actually transitioning right into Deb Houston. Deb is the event planner extraordinaire, which is always is like whenever we do an event and like we have like 15 people show up, it's like fuck, man. There's a lot of stuff to do, and so I can't imagine like trying to coordinate events for a living. But that's awesome. So kudos to you, Deb. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So. Transitioning first, I just kind of want to go into first and foremost. I just want to shout out Chris, Tara's husband, Chotty, for not showing up. I haven't talked or heard from him since I beat him in golf.
Oh, boy.
We're gonna call him Mr. Press because he kept pressing and pressing. He was down like $100 at one point.
Oh, boy.
He pressed so much that they won the last hole to only lose $10, but he still lost. I just want everybody to know that specifically. So, Chris, if you're listening, you're a coward. Or call me, we'll play again, and maybe you can win your $10 back. But by the way, he did pay me. He threw it through my window as he pulled up next to me, and he crumpled it up and threw it at my window. So that's a little side story. Tara, Real Producers Magazine.
Yes.
Just so the audience out there understands or doesn't know about Real Producers, it's a magazine that is hyper local, but it's a national publication basically. But what happens is every market potentially has a magazine for their market. And in that market, you guys showcase the top 500, is it? Or not showcase, but the top 500 agents in that market get the publication.
Yeah, anywhere from 300 to 500, depending on the market.
Got it. And then what happens is you've got companies like Omega Lending, which is our mortgage company, that basically pay to be part of pay for ads, right?
Yeah.
Which helps support the publication and get it out to these agents, and it's a really cool publication because as a partner in the publication, we have an opportunity to not only be in that publication, but really I think what you guys do really well are the events and the ability to network, because a lot of these agents who are top agents, getting them all in a room to converse and actually get to, a lot of people think that it's so cutthroat that nobody wants to everybody's fucking everybody in that market, but everybody just wants to be cool with each other, right? So talk to me about the actual. I want to talk about the publication because it is across the country. So talk to me how you guys got involved and what what your thoughts are as far as the benefits of being in it.
Right. So, Real Producers, it is a national company. It was started about 4.5 years ago with Remington Ramsey in Indianapolis, and currently across the U.S., we're in about 75 areas, different areas, and by next year, we'll be in 100 markets.
Wow.
So it has grown extremely fast, and really the goal of Real Producers is to build, and you'll hear me say this in every event and many of our videos, the goal is to build stronger relationships in the real estate community, to bring together the best of the best. So when you go to our events, you look around the room and it's these top realtors that are from all different brokerages all coming together, because in real estate, relationships are everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys would agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've ran into many people who have done deals with each other, and then they've actually met each other for the first time at our events.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases with relationships, someone might have a deal on a house and have all these different offers, but they might choose the person they have a relationship with
all day
over someone else that they've never worked with. So really, I love what we're doing, and we're growing fast. Chris and I own Real Producers of Oakland County and Wayne County.
Here in Metro Detroit, right?
Yes, in the area. And then there's a few other close by. We have Real Producers of Grand Rapids, which Jody Hawkins runs, and she does an amazing job over there. And then also Allison Peters in Toledo, which isn't too far as well.
For sure.
So,
so let me ask you this. So basically, so you guys have Oakland and Wayne County, and then there's your Grand Rapids. So, but it is ultimately different because every single person owns their
It's a
area.
franchise,
It's a franchise, right? Is there like a formula that is followed, basically?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, because, real producers in Oakland County might be different than real producers in Colorado, right?
Right. Well, it's a franchise, but the company N2 Publishing, they do an amazing job with training the people that they're not just going to say, hey, here you go, here's your area and go, do this. There's all these steps. It's like they're handing you a manual in a way, so that if you follow their program, it works.
Right.
And, in the beginning, obviously, when you start something new, you're a little scared. Like, are people going to show to this event?
Yeah.
Like, I'm new in the area. I don't even have a real estate background.
Yeah.
So it was a little, it gets you a little nervous. But actually, Edie Franklin from Max Brooks said to me at one of our events, she goes, Tara, if you build it, they will come. And I was like, you're so right, Edie. Like, this feels so good. And people, they really like to all come together.
It is true. It is true.
Thanks to you guys for being a partner because of the partners, we're able to keep the magazine free to the realtors.
Yeah.
We're able to feature the realtors for free.
Right.
So a lot of people don't know that. And then the events are free for them because of our partners.
Yeah.
So, why not? Why not come?
Right.
You know?
Well, that's
Why don't we get it for free?
No, because we have to pay for it.
Because you're not a top realtor, sorry.
Yeah, we should create a mortgage magazine. Nobody's going to read that. Nobody cares about it. So, yeah, it is interesting because when you first started this, so you came obviously, I've known you for some time, but you came to our office and you're like, we're doing this thing. And I'm like, all right, we'll see how it goes. And it's been, and I think, Sal, you can attest to this, it's been a really valuable thing for us, even though, it does cost us money, to be fair.
Well, I think it's a breath of fresh air when it comes to doing something like this, right? Like all the time people are pitching you, come on, do our magazine, Royal Oak. Well, I want to slam magazines or whatever, but it's like, all right, here's our money. And then it's like,
There's no value.
I mean, you're in it, right? And it's cool to like see it come to your door and you're in this like magazine, right?
Right.
But there's no like real value for relationships, right? That's like just advertising versus like being able to kind of have a foot into the community, right? And I think that it's great for us. It's been great for our podcast too, right? Like, because it's all like familiar faces and it's more or less making friends as opposed to just feeding off people for business. That's the way we look at it, right?
Right.
Just building relationships.
It is one of those things where, although we do pay to be in it, there's so much value provided. And some of your partners, maybe they don't get that. They don't utilize it the right way.
Parties are sweet.
They're fucking sweet.
They're at like really cool places.
Yeah, I think that. And speaking of that, so obviously Deb is a big part of creating these events, but the events are really where it's at. So like being in the magazine as a mortgage company, yeah, it's cool, but ultimately it's the events. Being able to shake hands, meet people. Everybody's in a good spirit. So Deb, talk to us about your background. Why event planning? Because that seems like a crazy thing.
Yeah, it is a little crazy, but it's the best job ever. I get to be the party girl.
You throw
and
parties,
I get to plan parties,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun. Working with Tara has been great. I'm new with Real Producers. I've been planning events for over 20 years. I got my start at the Michigan Design Center in Troy.
Oh yeah,
way back when.
Yeah.
And so this is a lot of fun. This is kind of my dream gig right now. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, so this will be my second event with Real Producers. The first one was at the Sapphire Luxury Home in
that was awesome.
Bloomfield, which was an amazing event. What I love about the model that Real Producers does for events is we always find really cool, unique locations.
That's a big key of it. Yes, it's always something different.
Pressure.
Right?
Always something different, and you have to have something different. Otherwise, people are going to start getting bored. So you have to keep that interest with different elements of the event. And so this one coming up in November, or it is November already, in next week already, at the Detroit Shipping Company.
Yeah.
Just
which is a really cool
the
space.
coolest venue,
Yeah.
and it's just going to have a completely different flavor to it, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So what are some of the challenges when trying to plan these events? Because how many people do you guys get?
Getting a hold of people.
Yeah, getting people to RSVP, but
No, getting people. I mean, sometimes That was an inside joke there.
Oh, Dave from the podcast. Yeah, will not return text messages ever. Yes, Dave, if you're listening, which he's not, but okay.
Yeah. We
Man,
typically get between.
All of a sudden, the feed just goes dark.
Yeah, all of a sudden the lights cleared off because he's watching us on Nest. Anyways, so I mean, how many people do you guys expect at these events?
I mean, we generally get between 150, 200 people.
That's a lot of people.
Our last event at the Sapphire Luxury Homes, we had just under 200 people.
Wow.
And that event was actually a little tricky because it was right on a main road.
Yeah.
So we had valet, but also we had a shuttle people.
Yeah.
Like actually it was a party bus.
A lot of logistics.
But and it would shuttle people from a church. So yeah, there was a lot of things that Deb was a big help at.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even really think about the shuttle, and she's like, that's a lot of people. They're not going to fit in that lot. And I'm like, oh,
that would have been a nightmare.
So go on, get to it.
Because realistically, okay, just to be fair, these top agents, they're pretty pretentious, right? They're not going to want to not have something if they had to get there and there was something that was screwed up, they're like, screw this, I'm going home, right?
Well, right, yeah, we didn't
exactly.
want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make it convenient, and
the
one in Detroit's pretty sweet. We did get valet, even though they have a big parking lot. There is valet because I know we're going to fill up that parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cool venue. I mean, that place it's made of 21 shipping containers.
Yeah.
And it took them 3 years and $3 million to build that place.
Wow.
So it's really cool. Inside, they have 5 different restaurants, a coffee and creamery.
Whoa.
They have Detroit podcasts. They have beach volleyball in the back for the summer. And next week, you guys will meet. You guys will have the owner chat.
That's awesome.
On your podcast, and they're building they're expanding.
That space, or are they going somewhere else?
No, that space. They're expanding to business offices. It's a really cool space.
Like a WeWork space or something?
Yeah. I don't know exactly, but he can tell you details when you tune in next Wednesday.
So that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, look, I mean, we've been a part of the magazine, and then so now you guys started in Oakland County,
yes,
right? And now you expanded to Wayne County, which is this event, right?
Right, exactly.
So talk to me about that, because realistically, so everybody out in the world knows these two counties are really close to each other, right?
Correct.
They touch each other, basically.
They're next to each other.
Yeah,
they
they're
are
the same, right? It's Metro Detroit. We've got really 3 counties in Metro Detroit: Macomb, Oakland, and Wayne.
Right.
So is it odd being so close that you're going to have 2 different markets or 2 different magazines right next to each other, or can they sustain themselves?
No, they can sustain. Let me just explain. Oakland County alone, I live towards Rochester, so from one end to the other, it's an hour drive.
Yes.
I mean, it's a huge population in Oakland County. I mean, that's got the most realtor, and that county has the most
real estate, yeah.
Most real estate
it's
agents.
Out of the 3, it's probably the most affluent.
It is it's the most affluent and the most
populated too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then yes, Wayne. So our publication is based off where the realtors' offices are. Mm-hmm. So they could sell Oakland, Wayne, Macomb, but we send it.
Too.
Yeah.
In Wayne, I mean, you got Northville, Plymouth, Canton, Detroit, Grosse Pointe. Detroit's booming right now.
Northville to Grosse Pointe is that's far.
Well, I basically live in Northville. I'm in Novi, so
you're right there. So, I mean, with doing 6 events a year, I think Chris and I are pretty set on just doing Oakland and Wayne.
For right now, forget Macomb. No, nobody cares about Macomb.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, maybe in the future there would be one, but not by us.
Terra and I went to high school together. We grew up in Macomb, so yeah.
I live in Macomb.
Yeah. It's interesting to me. What's interesting about this is if you think about real estate, Brad, I
try not to.
It's all we do.
I'm kidding. I mean, of course.
Yeah. So if you think about real estate, just think about the amount, and this is just very like the amount of opportunities to create a living off of real estate, right? There's so many different ways. It's such a huge. I think we forget just because we do the mortgage side and we do the real estate side, but the real estate in general is a huge industry in our world. It's massive, right?
It touches so many different sub industries. I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but that's what I'm going to call it. So many different industries and professions are influenced and impacted directly by buying and selling homes.
And that's what. So realtors. I mean, for you guys as partner. I mean, realtors. They're the
influencers.
Yes. I mean, think about it. You move into an area. They're going to ask a realtor, where do you recommend to go, for this, for that?
Yeah.
They're asking the realtor. So you guys are, the realtors are such a resource to the people in the community.
They generate. So here's the thing, and this is why we as a business, as a mortgage company, we support realtors as much as possible. Because the reality is, sometimes people look at the mortgage side of it as separate from the real estate side of it, and they don't get along. And some real estate agents look at the mortgage side as just a part of it and almost like an annoyance, right? Okay, just get the deal done, right? But the reality is, real estate agents are out there generating leads and getting business, and ultimately referring that business to companies like us. They're so important in the real estate transaction. Like, we built our business on the fact that we built good relationships from real estate agents, right, Sal? I mean,
right.
And it's not.
Oh, it's just where the people go first, right?
Right.
I mean, should they go to mortgage first? I mean, then we would be the most important. Probably.
There is an argument for that, but
but
they don't.
The agents are actually out there, boots on the ground. Like, they know the areas, they know the schools, they know this,
Right.
they know that. So that's why they go to them first.
They're like
right?
they're like they're like front line, right? They're out there like
They
fighting
are,
every day. And then like as a mortgage company, if you're not like thinking of real estate agents as like real partners, like, and giving
Right.
them value, like there's no sense in like why would a real estate agent work with someone
Right.
and give them revenue and business if they're not supporting them?
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're a storefront, right? Like, they have to have something or a product for each thing that is good, right? So whether it's just the mortgage or the title company or an inspector, insurance guy, whatever, right? They have to have a full suite of things that take care of that client, because ultimately they're the ones who they talk to first and relying on them the whole way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. The real estate agents are super important.
Right.
Think about it, like you said, Sal. Think how many people get money from the real estate agent's potential referral, right? They're going to refer an inspector. They're going to refer a mortgage company, a title company. Like, all these
They
people
just facilitate the deal, right?
But all these people are making money off what they're doing, almost.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. But
is.
It's just more or less like a necessity, right? It's not necessarily like about even making the money. It's just who's part of that relationship, right? Who's
Yeah.
part of that sphere.
Yeah, yeah. So I want to go into Terra's background a little bit because,
Oh, boy.
yeah. So Terra, because I think it's interesting because I don't know how you got into the mega. So we'll talk about that. I know Chris kind of got into it. I talked to him a long time ago, but you used to do Cutco knives.
Oh yeah, I used to sell Cutco 9 years. Hall
Yeah.
of Fame. My wall's in the factory.
So-
my face is in the factory on the wall.
I you think about a Cutco salesman and you're like, like that, but to make a living for
It
that
is the
from-
best experience.
Man, there is a dude who just kills it.
Yeah,
with
Luke,
Cutco.
in the
I mean,
area.
he just murders it.
Yeah, yeah. So
I tell you what, anyone that does Cutco, we're having our kids. My husband's already trying to get Tyler, my boys, to sell it
because it was such a good
it
experience.
is like, I mean, I was there for 9 years, and Chris was selling for 15 years.
At Cutco?
We both ran offices.
Oh, wow.
We both sold quite a bit. Chris sold over $1 million in Cutco.
That's wild.
So, but I mean, by the way, anyone
Look at Brad's
listening,
face.
I will tell you something.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
mean, state teaches it as a class. I mean,
They do?
for sales experience.
Wait,
I'm
excuse
telling
me,
you
go back
what.
to that. Wait, don't you just?
I don't know if they still do. They did. I don't know if they still do. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But I will say, it was the best experience as a coming out of high school. If anyone wants to get sales experience, go sell Cutco because they have the best training. They teach you the sales process.
Yeah.
You cold call basically. I mean, you're not cold calling. You start with your friends and family,
Right.
but you learn to get leads. Like I get excited because I
really
love
are
it.
passionate
I
about
am
it, yeah.
passionate because I 100% believe in what they do, and I 100% believe it as a gift because it is a gift people will have forever,
Really?
and they have a forever guarantee. So people, when you buy it,
She's like
it
selling
is
us
an
on it right
investment.
I know.
It's
I
an
wanna go get some
investment,
Cutco
but-
knives now.
Listen, I mean, you need a
know.
good set of knives.
Yeah.
Right? If you cook at home and you do things, you need
So-
a good set
Even
of
if you
knives.
think about it, what else do you use every single day?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it. You put your logo, Omega, on that, or Inside Real Estate, whatever. You put it on a knife. They're going to see that every day. So for realtors,
Are they really superior knives?
They're amazing. Yes.
They are.
All right.
I can attest
yeah.
to that.
Luke,
Yes.
if Luke is listening, come here and do a demo for them because I'm telling you.
Really?
Anyways, I can go on, but I do 100. It's great experience.
Are those guys at like Sam's Club? Like
They are there
attention
now.
Members,
They used
you're
to
gonna give
not.
a free gift.
Yeah,
those guys.
They are. Well, they are in Costco now. I don't know where else they're at because I've been out of the loop. Because I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years, And then Chris and I joined together to do Real Producers.
What's
I
so-
was missing,
It's
getting
so
out
interesting, right? Because like if you think about their model, like
Yeah.
they have salespeople who make a lot of money versus just going directly to a retailer and selling knives, right?
Right.
But when you have someone push the same product, because I mean, I'm sure they're great knives, right? But
They are.
So are whatever knives you buy at the store, right?
No,
Like,
they're not. They're not the same material.
sa-
They're not the same
well, I mean,
quality.
there's some really nice knives out there if you go to the store and buy them, right? Jinsu knives, whatever, right? But
well, there's some German ones that's the
Yep.
biggest competitor, but they don't have a forever guarantee like Cutco.
okay.
And Cutco's American.
Are you
made.
still selling?
no-
See, I
Cutco?
can't help myself.
All
It's
I'm
in my
telling you-
DNA.
Did you
I can go
sign a
on.
But for a
contract?
standard consumer, like, I don't give a shit, right? Like,
Yeah,
all
you
right,
get
nice
some
knives,
from,
nice knife.
Yeah,
What are they? Westhoff knives or whatever?
yeah they're
So-
German knives. Yeah,
Those are really nice knives too,
yeah.
and they do the same thing. They cut meat or vegetables or whatever, right? Like people aren't like thinking about like the forever
Yeah,
guarantee
you're not
from
thinking
Cutco,
about it
right?
until we
'Cause
come
no
to-
one knows
come over.
until someone knows and sells it to you, right?
Exactly.
And it's
I mean,
just
I can
like,
go to Dollar Tree and get a
Oh
freaking
my
chef's
God,
knife for
no.
$1,
No,
and I can do that every 6 months for 30
you're all,
years.
Yeah,
you
but you
also
shouldn't.
probably the
It's
only
still
thing
gonna
you're
cut.
chopping up at home is chicken
no.
nuggets.
Hold
I
on a
don't- I
second.
don't cook
If you actually cook, listen, I've
No, I
been-
do cook.
No,
but
you
I-
need
I
knives.
don't
I'm
Don't
have
bringing
Dollar
you,
Tree knives.
We're
Chris.
going-
we
we're
are
going-
bringing them a Cutco knife.
Yeah, we're going down the rabbit hole though. I'm just saying, like,
You need a good knife.
People don't think like that unless
No.
someone sells them,
Right, unless you
Because
see
Cutco would just be another
Yeah.
knife and that
Exactly.
people use, and it's a nice knife, but
they come and
they
do
probably
a
have
demo. Yeah.
way more sales just from people pushing it.
Well, the reason I think it's interesting is because if you think of like a salesman, like a Kirby vacuum, right? It's probably a really good vacuum, right? But
Yeah.
that's a tough gig, right? Cutco, people are gonna be like, oh, you're selling me Cutco because it's almost has like.
Well,
that
it's cheap enough
connotation.
that people can give it as gifts, and that's the whole thing, right? Like you sell it to a lot of
It's not cheap.
consumers.
Cuccos are not cheap.
Well, they're an
It's cheap
investment.
enough. It's not.
They are an investment.
But
They are. I'm
It's like
saying,
$150
Come on, I can
for
go on.
scissors.
you know what? This
my
is what I would
God.
tell people.
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying that like businesses can
Yeah.
Terra
do
just
that
came
and
out
give a
with that.
nice knife as a gift versus a Kirby vacuum
Oh, yeah.
or whatever, right?
100%,
Like,
yeah.
hey, here's
Don't give a
knife.
vacuum as a gift.
Yeah, no.
No,
No, but you can give a really nice chef's knife,
Especially to
right?
your wife.
And
Don't do
especially
it.
to
Right.
but then they're selling the knives, right? Essentially, or they're giving them to their clients,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. But like,
So my whole point, forget the knife.
It's just
my,
funny.
My whole point
I
with
know.
this, my
Where
whole
do we
point with
go?
this was that I mean Tara like busted her chops and like I mean I'm sure there was some adversity when you started selling Cutco knives, right? You had to overcome
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which probably built you up to be able to do other things later on, right? I mean that's really what my point with that is like you chose to do Cutco knives. You stuck with it for 9 years.
Right.
And you had success with it. And then so why did you stop doing the Cutco and and then move into something else?
Well, I had 3 kids under the age of 2.
Right.
So when you have 3 kids in diapers, I had to kind of
Crazy.
take a break.
Jesus Christ.
And I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years.
Why did
and-
Chris switch from Cutco to doing the magazines?
Well, actually, this is interesting. So the guys who created N2 Publishing, the publishing company, they were actually from Cutco.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. So a lot, I will say a lot of the people that do work for N2 have that Cutco background.
Wow. That's interesting.
So we had friends that end up working for them, and we were kind of,
That's when you know you've got a good sales organization. When you've
Yeah.
got spin-offs that are doing really well. That's really good, right?
well, you look at Quicken Loans.
That's what I was
right?
gonna say,
Like
yeah.
everyone not everyone, but a lot of people who worked at United Wholesale or Flagstar or our mortgage brokers at some point usually started at Quicken. Not
Yeah.
always, right?
And the,
Yeah.
the success
or
of
they
people
started at
Quicken.
another spin-off that
Yeah.
just depending when you started. But
So, yeah, because my thing is if you have great sales training, and by the way, people that are listening, sales doesn't have to be dirty. You can do good things and give people good products and still sell them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can believe in your product and still sell someone,
Well,
but
you
have
can only sell if you believe the product, though.
some people sell
if
some
you-
bullshit.
but
Oh,
if you
jeez.
if you believe in your product and you listen to your customer and
Yes.
it's a fit,
Right.
the sales is easy, right?
Right.
If it's
Right.
not a fit and you're trying to push something that doesn't make sense onto someone,
Right.
Well,
That's when sales is dirty.
Right.
Well, and even with real producers, it's like a no-brainer. What you're gonna go to?
I disagree with that. I'll tell you why it's a no-brainer. So when you walked into our office, it's a long commitment, And we were early on in our business, and I told Brad we just signed a 3-year.
I was not happy.
We just signed a 3-year contract. He's like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, it's all right. It's gonna, whatever." I go, "Look, it'll pay off." You know what I mean? But that's like a big commitment.
It's like an unknown, right? Because
you don't know.
You just got into
right?
it.
Yeah, I think, but I also think it is what you make it. I think as a partner, like you have to like make whatever you do good, right? It's up to you on some level too.
Right. And you have to participate. Like if you're a partner of ours and you don't come to events, you're kind of missing out on a part of what we do. There's so many publications out there, and you just advertise. There's no events. There's no social media. There's no, all the extra things that we offer for partners. There's,
it's
you
easy to write checks and pay and pray. Right?
I mean, I get a ton of flyers in the mail, It's
right, we're going to do this, and hopefully someone calls us, right? Versus participating and putting in a little sweat equity.
Yeah. And by the way, I just want to mention real quick. So just so that other listeners are aware, all of our partners that are with Real Producers are recommended by top producers in the area. So we don't cold call. We don't just get anyone in our magazine. So when I tell every realtor and everyone that we meet with, so know that if you work with someone in our magazine, they were referred by other top producers.
That's pretty good to know.
So
how the fuck did we get in there? Who referred us?
Oh my gosh.
That's really so. The event next week, Deb. What should people know about it?
So it is Wednesday, November 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Detroit Shipping Company, which is right in the heart of the Cass Quarter, which is a really cool up-and-coming area of the city.
Is there alcohol?
Absolutely.
That's a big question.
Absolutely. Free beer and wine, local.
Free?
For the partners and the realtors. You have to,
the people that go there.
on the list. You have to be on the list.
We'll be drinking on the air.
Yeah, you have to register for sure.
Yes, you have to register.
Can you make sure people bring us alcohol while we're doing our show next week?
I will absolutely bring you alcohol.
All right.
I'll assign someone to you.
Thank you.
But the restaurants, they have this really cool food court with all these very kind of eclectic Detroit-based local food vendors, and that's what we're going to have available for the party guests.
Will there be
as
Coney
well.
dogs?
No, I don't think there's going to be Coney dogs.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's
you
a
won't know
really,
until
really
you
cool
come
venue.
next week.
Right.
Yeah, it's an
There you
amazing
go.
venue, but local craft beer. They do have an art gallery in the event space, so you're going to be able to tour the facility and mostly connect and network with.
It's pretty
with
cool. I
other people
mean,
in that.
most of these events are really cool because you just end up talking to people, right? You just, it's really good. It's like and it's like, oh, I saw you, man. What, and then you just end up having a conversation. So I think utilizing that network, I think as a real estate agent, that's super powerful because if you're around really successful agents, you get stuff out of that, right?
Right.
That's really good.
And of course, the live podcast next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right on the stage in the beer garden.
Yeah, right on the stage. We're putting you right up there.
It's gonna be interesting.
On stage?
Yes.
And-
She just said it 4 times.
I didn't know.
On the
It
stage.
just set in.
It is outdoors, but it does have a nice
it's
big
covered.
heat tent that's covered, so
Yeah.
just wear a jacket
Interesting.
just in case.
And again, this is a private event. Like I've had people email me or try to sneak their mortgage companies in. You have to be a partner to come to these events.
Yeah.
And if you are part of the top 500 in Wayne County, you will get an email directly from Eventbrite from us with an invite.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes
invite only.
people think, oh, I'm just going to stop by and bring a few people. Well, I'm sorry, that's not
not
how
it
we
works,
work. I
right.
mean, if someone is interested in being a partner, we can chat with them.
Right.
But
Are you taking more partners right now?
in some categories, no.
Okay.
There's a few categories we don't have anyone.
Yeah.
Like I've had some people in Oakland County look for an organizer, someone to organize or declutter. We have someone in Wayne County right now. But even like pest control, like that's something that I don't have yet. So
There's a lot of value adds, right? Because it's a good network to be
Yeah.
in. For example, a CPA, right?
Right. Yep. A CPA.
John Angel.
They haven't done it yet?
I don't know. They should though.
We've told them to do
You're
it. So
missing out.
I do appreciate that. Like, it's not like all mortgage companies. You guys like cap it up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
there are some mortgage companies which I'm cool with, but like, it's
Right.
not like because it'd be very easy. Every mortgage company would want to be part of it, right?
Yeah, it'd be very easy to have 20 in there, but we don't
Right.
because, I mean, again, think about 20 businesses at an event. We don't want that. You know,
Yeah.
we like it diversified. And again, our goal of these events is just to build relationships.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone being like, hey, how you doing? I sell mortgages, you know. Like,
sell mortgages
that's not what it's about. So
Yeah.
I think even for some partners that are newer in whatever they're doing, just to realize like it's about relationships.
It's not a sales
It's
opportunity.
not a sales opportunity.
No.
Like, don't be passing out. It's not like a BNI.
Yeah.
So
I think sometimes people probably even think when we do like our podcast, right?
BNI.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
I agree with that.
we're gonna be like afterwards, like put them in a corner, like, hey, you got to send us deals. Like that's just not.
No.
It's not how
No,
it
we-
works. That's not how you even get business. you
No,
know?
we made a
So-
decision very early on that like we are relationship based, and if our podcast lives on its own, like we talk about our mortgage company, but just because what we do, but the last thing any guest that comes in here that's a real estate agent that already has a relationship with a mortgage company, they're not going to come here if they know we're going to be like, hey man, hey, give me some deals, dude, give me some.
Right,
I don't give a
I'll
shit
give
about
you
that.
a deal.
Yeah, if you give, we had one guy. There was one agent in. He was in Grosse Pointe, and we were talking to him. He's like, "This is what he did. He looked at us. He goes, okay, you give me one, I'll give you two. Remember that?
Yeah, we're like,
They're like, all right, man, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'll never talk to you again because that's not what it's about. So, all right, so we do this thing called 3 questions on
Okay.
our show. And they're totally random except for the first one, and we'll ask you both equally, so you can both answer them, Deb and Tara. First one is what scares you, Tara, and then we'll go to Deb. What
Ooh.
scares you? What's
Oh
what's
my
your
God.
what's your fear?
Actually, I don't drive on expressways.
Is that real?
Yeah, for real. Like, even if I go to Novi, I take Telegraph. I got in a rollover accident
shit.
back in 2000, and it seriously traumatized me. And I just avoid it. I've tried, and then I get an anxiety or panic attack.
You
And
like almost like PTSD?
yeah, definitely.
Oh,
can you
wow.
be in the car?
I can be in the car. I'm fine if someone else is driving. If I drive and I've tried and tried, I freeze and like my body is like,
No way.
it's so it's hard. You know, when I have to go somewhere far, I just take a little detour. My GPS is set to avoid expressways and freeways.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Deb
interesting.
knows because I had her drive me around to some events.
So what happened in the roller accident? Like what? Like you just?
There was 5 of. Okay, do you remember when the Firestone tires
Yeah.
were blowing? So 5 of us were in a car going to a Cutco conference in Chicago, and right in downtown Chicago, a car next to us started to like turn its wheel right into us, and the girl that was driving jerked the wheel. The front tire popped, and all of a sudden you see the whole car lift up, and we rolled 3 times. The
Holy
2 girls
shit.
flew out the windows. That no one died or anything, you know. But
It was tough.
no,
though.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like
It flew out the
and by the way, I got to tell you this, and this is a good for anyone listening. I was 19. Okay, I was the only one in the back seat wearing my seatbelt. And everyone the whole time were like making fun of me, like, "Oh, you're wearing your seatbelt, you're in the back seat." I'm like, I don't care. I just feel better. And sure enough, we get in a rollover, and I'm the only one where my head doesn't hit the ceiling.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm actually in my seat. So a lesson to everyone:
Wear your seatbelt.
All the
doesn't
time.
matter if you're in the front, the
Doesn't
back, where you're at. I mean, you never know when
That's
an accident will
wild.
happen.
That's super wild.
So wear your darn seatbelt. It saves lives.
Wow. That's
So
Wild.
sorry, that was a little extended, but
no.
Deb?
That was Deb,
Yeah, how do I top that?
what scares you, dude?
sorry.
I don't have any major phobias. I will say, however, since being a mom, for some reason, flying's kind of a thing for me.
That's funny.
I love to travel,
Yeah.
but getting on an airplane requires a little bit of pre-medicinal
Liquid
red
courage.
wine.
Yeah.
And
Pre-medicinal red wine. That's the. yeah.
I'm fine once I'm up. It's taking off and turbulence
landing.
and landing. And I got to have my headset on with music going.
It's like you. Yeah.
Does not matter who's sitting next to me. I might be digging in, you know.
I mean, look.
I just went to Mexico. My girlfriend's the same way, and like I'm like, dude, like, relax, or I'm gonna move my seat. Like I'm gonna go somewhere. No offense.
Yeah,
But I was
no,
like-
it's crazy. It's only been the last 2 years that it's been an
Look,
issue, but it doesn't stop me from traveling.
I don't
so
think there's
go
anything
anyway.
wrong with that. If you really think about it, there's this big metal object flying through the air at 500
No,
miles
it's
an hour. It is
It's scary, but I guess it's just and everyone's different, right? But as soon as I buckle in and that thing starts moving,
You got no
I just
choice.
pretend
whatever's
like I'm
going to
on a
happen is
train.
going to happen.
Pretend I'm on a train.
Whatever's going to happen is going to
That's
happen.
the whole thing. If that thing crashes, there's nothing. No freaking out or music or whining.
Well, I think
and
that's
stuff.
Unless you got a
the
fucking
problem
squirrel
too,
suit
though,
and
is you've
you
got a
have no
lot of time to
control.
think about it. If that
Yeah.
plane goes down,
Well, when you're in a car, you can like pull off the road or whatever,
just have no
right? Like you have a
control.
little
You
more
better
control.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
total control thing.
Yeah.
Total
Yeah.
control.
It's kinda
Sounds
scary.
sounds to
And-
start packing a squirrel suit so we can just jump out.
Yeah.
But listening to like super loud, like Foo Fighters or something, and I don't hear the engines and the noises that the engine makes.
You're
it's-
okay.
Yeah.
That's the
Makes a
exciting
huge
part. is hearing
difference.
those
I love
engines
that
wind
they
up.
got
No,
all
I don't like it.
the movies on there are great recently.
The movie system.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that
movies are
helps.
good.
And
Yeah.
it's just like
I know. I'm like, don't
just
land.
relax, right?
I'm watching
Yeah.
this.
I hate when we start to land and then the guy's like, "We're making our approach to
it fucks up your
Atlanta or
show,
whatever." You're
yeah.
like, dude, like you just fucked my movie up.
All right. Next question is: if you were on a deserted island by yourself and you could only bring one item, what would it be?
One item.
Item.
Yeah, one thing.
Oh, my tea.
Are you serious? What, your fucking tea on a deserted island?
I say that because, like, okay, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I have my tea. That is my.
Can you rephrase that? And
This
say,
is
can
my-
you rephrase that and say anymore?
What?
Can you rephrase? I don't drink. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So that's like my one thing is my ginger jasmine tea that I make. It's kind of my obsession.
Who are you? Are you serious?
Well, I mean,
Ginger
you do,
Dude, I'm like-
you do need like to hydrate and have something. So I guess it's
Like
not.
that's just off top of my head.
Okay.
Oh, you said thing. You didn't say person. So
It'd be like your jewels.
Chris, you're out. All right, Deb. What about you?
I think I'd bring a boat.
Fucking
oh
genius.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm going with you.
You'll be drinking the tea. She'll be off the island in 3
She's
weeks.
the planner.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
That is true. That is so.
I'll be sipping my tea.
exactly what you want. That's perfect. You're a great planner already.
Thank you.
It's a great calling card. If I was on an island, I'd bring a boat
Yeah.
because I'm a planner. Idiot. Okay. If you could spend a week in somebody else's body, who would it be and why?
Oh. Deb?
Oh
You'd be Deb.
boy,
No.
no, you don't want that. Trust me. Man,
I mean, off the top of my head,
Yeah.
this is kind of random, but I would say Madonna because I've always loved Madonna.
Madonna. Okay.
And like, what
Madonna
an
t-
interesting life, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
so. All
right, Madonna'd be a good one.
She's always been my favorite.
really? That's interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
I might have to go with Trudy Styler.
Who's that?
Who the fuck is that?
That is the wife of Sting, and she
Oh.
is an
Oh.
actress. And
Sorry, it's a Sting
She's
song.
just beautiful. I've always admired her. She's in her mid 60s, amazing figure. They have a villa in Tuscany. They're growing grapes and making wine. And she's married to Sting. You know, not so bad.
All right.
All right, so okay, so maybe you'd bring
Never
Sting
knew
to the island.
Yeah.
What about you,
Yes.
Paul? What about
Boat
you?
and Sting.
What's that?
What about you?
If I I've never had anybody do this. This is
What do
interesting.
you mean? No one ever asked you a question?
No, never really
No.
cared. Nobody gives a shit what I say. Who would I be for a week?
Yeah. Yes. Who would you be?
I'd want to be the president of the United States for a week.
Oh yeah.
That's
That'd
what I'd
be
want to
pretty
be.
good.
No,
I want to
thanks.
see what that's like, and I want to see like what they know and what they don't know. Now, I wouldn't say maybe potentially this president, maybe like another one, but like I would want to live that life for a week just to see what it's like, personally.
How about you, Brad?
I don't know. Go to Sal first.
Man, yeah, that's
I've never had to
that's
answer
an
that.
interesting one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like right now, I guess an alive person, I think it'd be real interesting to be like Jeff Bezos, right? Like see what it's like to
yeah.
run like Amazon. Like
Yeah.
that'd be like
Yeah, right.
insane, right? Like we think we're busy and like
Amazon would have a down week that week. You'd have to
Maybe.
I'm just kidding, dude. It'd probably.
I do some what are the prime specials? You know?
Yeah, everything's on special. We're having Black Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, Brad, what about you?
I don't know, man. I'd be for a week.
That was the question.
You'd
Yes.
be a woman, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
You wouldn't leave the house for a week. You don't.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'd be Aaron Rodgers for a week.
All
Aaron
right.
Rod, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty good. He's pretty sweet.
That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You and him share similar under eye bags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're also a big Green Bay Packers fan.
Yes.
because you.
Ooh, that's cool.
That would be Actually, that'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
So be like the man.
All right. Well, Terra, if someone wants to be in the magazine, or no, they have to be nominated. So, but if someone wants to get a hold of you just to talk, and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, sure. If anyone, any questions, or if someone's, wants to chat about potentially partnering, or also if you want to nominate someone for a feature, reach out to me. We do have a few new features coming up after the new year. One is called Behind the Scenes All-Star. So if you have a, all-star assistant or someone that is like behind the scenes, you can nominate someone to be featured starting the new year.
That's
we want to shine some light. We already have that, starting up.
Yeah.
But my number is 586-615-8749. And my email is, I'll spell it, TERRA.CSOTTY, which is Chotty, at realproducersmag.com.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's pretty good. The behind the scenes all star.
That's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah.
I mean, because that's like who
It's a good concept.
keeps the
Right.
wheels moving.
Yeah. And Deb, obviously, just so the audience is clear, you don't only do real producer events, you do other events. And you've done it,
absolutely.
right?
I'm a freelancer. I do mostly corporate, but I will do some social events too, just not weddings, please.
Yeah. Weddings are nightmares, dude.
No, but I've been doing events for over 20 years, and like I said, I've just started recently with Real Producers, but I very much appreciate the opportunity to
Well, it's an awesome place to showcase.
build my business here. So,
So give the audience your number, which is going to be interesting. We'll talk about it.
yes. So my phone number is area code 585.
Which makes no sense because
Which-
our area is 586,
Yeah.
so it's just 585.
Yes, I got it in there. There was a
Yeah.
lot of confusion about that. I was living in upstate New York,
Yeah.
outside Rochester
Got it.
for 12 years. So it's 585-727-3101. And my email is D as in Deborah, J, Houston, Huston.
Oh, it's Huston.
It's
Houston.
looks like Huston, but
Yeah.
it is Houston. So DJ Houston Events at gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Obviously,
Thank you.
we'll be live, but we'll be like in a different place next week, actually like at an event doing our show, which will be interesting. So for anybody that
Thanksgiving
wants
Day
to,
parade.
So mark it in your
Vibe.
calendars now. Next Wednesday, 1:30?
we're at one.
The
yeah,
live
the
podcast
live
will be
podcast,
1:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for always just doing what you do.
My pleasure.
Switches and knobs and turning people up and down. So, all right, guys. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks so much.
You've been listening to Inside